In all honesty, I hardly pay attention to most anime after 2005, much less the feature films of anime. I probably would not have heard of Summer Wars, much less care for it, if a friend of mine didn't bring it up in a conversation we had during one of our usual hangouts. So, out of curiosity, I bought the DVD along with Ikitosa Dragon Destiny, but I never bothered watching it until several months later for various reasons that I'm not in the mood to list. However, after watching the film recently, it turns out Summer Wars was a pretty damn good movie, and therefore I will not spoil the plot too much for those who haven't seen it yet, because I do encourage people to check this movie out after his review's done. Though I can't make any guarantees whether or not I will spoil too much. Summer Wars is a Japanese anime film directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who worked on various titles such as Digimon the Movie and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. And it was animated by Madhouse and distributed by Warner Brothers and Funimation, judging from the DVD I'm looking at. Kenji Koiso is a math whiz that works as a part-time moderator of Oz, a virtual reality supercity that the entire world, from everyday citizens to government officials, use and mostly depend on in their lives for various tasks: shopping, chatting with other people on the internet, regulating satellites, porn maybe, almost anything. One day, he takes a job offer from Natsuki Shinohara, the love interest of Kenji, to go to Ueda with her to visit her great-grandmother on her upcoming 90th birthday. However, as Kenji arrives to Ueda, it turns out that his job was to act as Natsumi's fiance for her whole entire extended family that also arrived for the celebration of Great Granny's birthday. Later that night, Kenji gets a number puzzle email on his cell phone from an unknown sender for him to solve. After he attempts to solve it and send it back, shit goes down pretty fast for him. The following morning, he's accused for hacking into the Oz infrastructure and causing some very serious trouble. It turns out that his account was hacked by an artificial intelligence by the name of Love Machine. Yeah, the song Love Machine. The film is part slice of life romance drama where it revolves around Kenji and the entire Jonichi family, living their daily lives, preparing for grandma's celebration, having dinner, enjoying themselves, and part science fiction action where it would revolve around Kenji, various family members like Kazuma and Wabisuke attempting to stop Love Machine from causing any more havoc in not only Oz but in the real world as well. The writing was pretty solid, though there were some predictable moments, like who created Love Machine as an example. I'm not going to tell you how. You're just going to have to watch the movie to find out. But other than that, the pacing was pretty normal, though I will admit it did feel slow for me, but then again, the film nearly clocks in at 2 hours. And almost all the characters, including Natsuki's family members, were pretty likable, save for two of them, Shota and Wabisuke, the latter of the two, who get some character development to make me like him at the end. The animation was done by Studio Madhouse, as I mentioned before, and Madhouse, if you're an anime fan, I really don't need to go on to their extensive resume on what shows they've worked on. And then there's two different art directions that were used. In the real world scenes, it's what you would expect out of a film like this, with some high quality animation, semi-realistic character designs, mostly artwork. While they do have some scenes and shots of the big city in the opening credits that were very lively and animated, most of the film takes place in the Ueda household, which is pretty far from the rest of civilization. However, it does make up for the fact that you do see the rest of Natsuki's family, and it's about over a dozen characters. And they do bring some extra liveliness, the same kind of liveliness I saw out of the opening credits, into those scenes as well. The art style changes somewhat during all the Oz scenes. Well, for starters, there's some additional CG that complements the computerized style of Oz, making it look between trippy and gorgeous. The CG itself looks really nice. It does help it make Oz look more like a virtual world, and sometimes it can look pretty trippy as well. And all the hand-drawn avatars of Oz have this red outline to them, or at least most of them do. There's one character who actually uses an 8-bit face as his avatar. Everyone else uses like Anthros or whatever. But they would have this red outline trying to make them look digital but not too bad. And most of the animation highlights do come from Oz because of its style. It's where the majority of the big important action scenes occur as well, like the first fight between Love Machine and King Kazuma, the Shaolin Kung Fu avatar of Kazuma, Natsuki's second cousin. The fight itself was really good, though a little short, had some good martial arts choreography. The only gripe I had regarding not only just the animation, but there is a particular character design I want to nitpick about, was Love Machine's final form, which I thought was a step down from his second form. Because his second form looked a little more original to me, while the one that followed after it just screamed giant generic shadow monster. I mean, I've seen similar designs to that before. However, I will give credit to that form because it was made up of stolen avatars, and it created this little weird trippy movement on the on Love Machine's final form. So that's as much as I can say about the positive there. Now for the sound department, but to be honest, I have nothing really special to say in that area. I mean, the voice acting was done by mostly a Funimation cast, with only a few voice actors I recognized, and the ones I did recognize, they were playing bit parts. And the dialogue and scripting, it was good. It was all just good. But it's nothing too special that sticked out for me that I wanted to mention or praise. The same thing could be said about the music score as well. Couldn't find anything too memorable. The music score was also pretty nice. It's what you would expect out of a movie, orchestrated. Sometimes they don't play. They don't even play a lot of music, especially in the dramatic scenes. They always keep it silent throughout the entire scene. And like I said, I'm not saying the music and acting is bad. It's good. I mean, I would recommend watching it in English dub if you're not too picky about English dialogue. But there's just nothing really special that I wanted to talk about. Just no flaws. All emotions were basically spot on with the characters. And I do apologize if this came off as underwhelming, considering I've spent ample time talking about everything else. So, closing comments. Well, as for the movie, the characters were fun, the story was pretty damn interesting, with some good mixes of action and drama, some bits of comedy, and the animation was top notch. Summer Wars was a really damn good film, which I didn't find surprising at all, people praising it already before this review got uploaded, and the fact that my subs wanted me to talk about this film hoping I would praise it, and it turns out they got what they wanted. I do enjoy this film. I'm definitely going to see it again, but this time I might show it to some of my friends in the future because they haven't seen the movie yet, or maybe some of them did and probably want to see it again. And I do recommend this anime to, well, almost every anime fan out there that's willing to give things a chance. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and with that, this is Darkscreen217 signing out.